Dave, welcome to the podcast.
How you doing, Kevin? What do you know?
Yeah,
Anything?
I want to say thank you to all of our loyal viewers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
So you saying those things, does it mean anything?
No, but
Okay.
that's what I hear other people say, right? Isn't that what I mean?
I don't know what any of that stuff means, but it sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Smash that like button. I'm just repeating what I hear people that do this for a profession say, and I figure if I emulate them, then
Yeah.
we would have make a career of this.
What'd you
I
think
think.
of Pat McAfee on the Mannings?
Oh, he's so good.
Wasn't that beautiful?
Yeah. I just think that we're like one or two episodes away from Colin Cowherd calling us and adding us to his volume media group. Don't you think so?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have ones and ones of viewers.
And we're doing our own power rankings. We're doing our own articles. I mean, we're basically created our own very small universe of ESPN.
Multimedia content. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, for 12 people.
and only 3 of them watch.
Yeah. So, hey, to all of you watching, thank you.
We appreciate all 3 to 4 of you.
Yeah. So, although I did send it out to the regular text message group last week to see if we would get viewership up, and so we'll see. Yeah. All right.
Let's get going. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah. So, let's start how we always do. And we haven't even talked beforehand about this, so I have no idea. Who is your Miller Time Team of the Week?
So you're going to think that I'm picking on you, but I'm not really picking on you. You kind of picked on yourself. But I'm going with Lee, not just because.
Wait, is this back-to-back? Do you just give it to the team that beats me every week?
Well, like I said, it's partly that way. I don't know if you remember doing this, but before the week started, there was a barrage of memes with different kinds of sports guys that supposedly commented on what was going to happen and all this stuff. And
now, see, I think that's really creative. That I took videos and edited them to make them look like they were talking about Lee's team. I think that's genius.
But to Lee's credit, he just kind of quietly took it, didn't say a whole lot. And then he took care of business on the field.
He did.
And what I liked about it was why I picked him for this week is not just because he won, but he needed a win. He was 0-2, dangerously close to just keep going down, down, down. He rolled back with his two rookie running backs, which is gutsy, and they performed for him. And he had faith. And on some of ours beloved Bengals defense, and they've rewarded him. And even David Carr got in on it with getting 25. I like to think that you get 25 from your quarterback. You got a good shot at all the pieces kind of fall in place to try to get to 100. That's what you want every week to at least get that. So good job, Lee. Miller Time Team of the Week. You needed it, you got it, and you shut this guy up. His stupid memes.
But you did see that before Sunday game started, I already felt the tide turning.
Yeah, you ran your mouth a little early. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, we will talk about matchups in a second. I don't need to defend myself, but yeah. I had 2 4:00 matchups that were iffy, and now they didn't end up mattering. You know what I mean? But I was bit by the injury bug, and I knew that going into Sunday. But I knew that running your that's all just fun.
Oh
right?
Yeah,
it was fun to make fun of Lee. But I will say that just foreshadowing when we talk about the power rankings, you're naming him Miller Time Team of the Week seems to contradict some of your feelings towards him in the power rankings, because you and I differed on how we had him ranked. So your comment to me was, So we'll bookmark that and come back to it.
You can be Team of the Week and not team of the last 3 weeks.
and not vault up the power rankings.
Yeah, I mean,
although his win did enough to get him into the the Power 10, which we are now.
Yeah. And that was all you. You made that call.
No. So we'll get.
Okay.
Book power rankings. When we talk about those, we'll define them a little bit more for everybody, just so we're all on the same page. It's not just me. I want to make sure that you know that. But so Lee, well deserved Miller Time Team of the Week, got himself out of that 0-2 slump, and is climbing up the ladder of the rankings, which is what really matters, like the standings, right? The actual standings. He's put himself in a better position to make the playoffs. So the team
what it's all about.
Yeah, the team that gets the Hillbilly of the Week is, and again, there's a pattern that's being created here, right? Teams that beat me, Team of the Week. All right. Yeah. Teams that start defenses that get -6.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Hillbilly of the Week. All right. So Ratty lost to Travis and so Travis has rattled off 2 wins over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be wins.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's pulled them out. Him and Adam are living right. Okay. Yeah. And so Travis gets the win over Josh, and Josh had a defense that he started that got -6, and that's just, you can't do that. You cannot. And I know that it's outside of his control. It's not that he intended to do it.
I don't remember what was the matchup. Do you like who it? Because when Danny did it, he started a defense against
a team that you wouldn't want to do that against,
like Buffalo or something like.
Yeah. So I pulled up standings. I want to go to scoreboard, and I want to go to week 3, and we'll pull it up here. And so it was the Chargers playing Jacksonville. So nobody saw that. That's a bad beat for Josh. Although Jacksonville played really well the week before.
There's been a lot of talk about Lawrence being rejuvenated with an offensive-minded coach and all that.
And they just did it against Indy the week before, right? Do I have that right? I mean, they just annihilated the Colts.
Yeah. So I guess that's, you.
Yeah. But if you take a look at it, he could have started any other defense or no defense and won that game.
Yeah. And I think I even point. This doesn't have anything to do with Josh did, but right from the get-go, things weren't going Josh's way on that Thursday night game, the last play of the game where 8
Cleveland
points.
Gets 12. Yeah.
A fumble and 2 for the fumble, 6 for the touchdown.
Well, and the Hillbilly of the Week really, because nobody at this point in the game is just like leaving their lineup empty or like just making a boneheaded play, right?
Well, maybe Danny.
Yeah, but the Hillbilly's kind of morphing into like the bad beat of the week, like you know what I mean. So it's like back-to-back weeks that you get teams that lose. Is like so. Anyway, that happened. That's our team of the week. How about before we get into the rankings, you feel like playing a game?
Sure.
All right, let's play a game. Here's how we're gonna play. We're gonna play a game called Buy Sell. We did this last season. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a statement, and you're gonna tell me if you're buying or selling that statement. So I'm gonna state it like it's truth, it's fact. Okay. And you tell me like buy it, yes, that's true, or sell, and then you tell me why. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Junior wins the regular season championship. You buying or selling that?
3-0. I'm buying. I'm all in on Junior right now.
You're all in on Junior?
Yeah, I'm buying that one. He's got a lead.
Got a reason?
And right now I don't see it slowing down. Josh Allen for a quarterback. The next team to him that is unbeaten has some some scoring flaws. And then I'm the next one after that. And I've been, it was bust, boom, boom. So who knows? He's until he proves me wrong, I'm going with Junior. He's going to win it all.
He's the most consistent team. I'll tell you what, this is week 6.
You think this will go to his head?
I think so, yeah. I might be the only more obnoxious person on the chat than Junior. Fair?
Yeah, you neck and neck.
Yeah, me, Junior, and maybe it's only because we're the only ones that chat on there, but Rennie might let it go to his head
until Purdue IU gets brought up, and then Josh and Adam are in the ring,
and then Danny posts 3-year-old articles from ESPN.
Poor Danny.
Yeah. Okay, so you're all in on Junior. I mean, I'll say this: it's a long season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we'll see. But he's doing great. If anybody knows how to hillbilly his team into a loss, though, Junior does.
Okay. Well, sometimes I don't mind being wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I'm wrong,
all right,
so be it.
Now this is personal for you because I feel like you have a vested interest in this. Okay. Oh, no. I'm going to make this statement and you tell me if you buy or sell. Brennan makes the playoffs.
I'm saying yes. I'm still buying what Brennan's selling. He's 0-3. And you know what? ESPN seems to agree with me because he's projected to be like 105 this week. So okay. I just think that Taylor and Fournette, I mean, they get the ball so much. They're both good. I don't know. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on Brendan yet.
All right. Okay. All right. Ed finishes above 500. Now remember that means he's got a winning record. I mean, teams 500 might make the playoffs. This is putting him in upper echelon category.
So we're even on, like, we have 14 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So he would have to be 8-6.
Yeah.
And he's 2-1.
Yep.
Right now.
Yep. He's got to get 6 more wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll do it.
So far it's buy.
That's
You're
true.
buying all these.
I'm buying all this stuff.
You're buying all. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I didn't make the list.
Yeah. No. Okay. Here's one. This is less about teams, more about an individual player. We're talking about draft places and all that kind of thing. So I don't know that anybody necessarily saw this happening. He's the number 1 running back right now. That's Chubb. So the statement is Chubb finishes as a top 5 running back at the end of the season. Okay. End of the regular season, Chubb's top 5. What do you think?
Man, a lot can go wrong at running back, but he gets so many carries and he scores when he's not supposed to.
From like 25 out.
But I'm selling that one.
Okay.
Something's gonna go. I mean, running back is if he gets too many carries, he doesn't always make it through the season, which is why they wouldn't trade Hunt when he wanted to trade. He was begging for it, and I think he either misses 2 or 3 games and somebody else, gets into, and he might end up top 10 still with a number of points. But yeah, too much can go on at running back. It had nothing to do with him. I think, he should be, but I think too much can go wrong at that position.
All right, here's our last one. Let's see if you're going to vote with your fanatic heart or if you're going to use any kind of logic or anything. Okay, Bengals beat Miami.
I'm such a homer. Yeah, they beat them.
Yeah. Are we hoping Tua doesn't play? And is that what we're hoping for?
I think he's even Waddle's a little banged up. Tua's a little banged up. I feel like they've kind of played out of their minds, and the Bengals, had 2 really bad beats the first, and then they soundly beat the Jets. I think they're onto something.
Could they win? The Bengals win like 60-59, and Tyreek Hill has like 5 touchdowns.
You would like that.
I'm just asking a question. I mean, I'd be fine with that. It could
definitely happen.
It could happen. Okay. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about the power rankings, and then I know that. So, anybody else appreciate that I took the basketball picture that somebody sent out and I repurposed it for our Kevin and Dave's Power 10? Did you notice that?
Is that where that's from?
Yeah, it was the one. So here, let me.
I see the picture. Are you gonna bring it up? Yeah, I'm
What
gonna shut the
here?
door real fast here.
Oh, so here it is. This is where this came from. So
Oh,
this is where
that
that
picture.
came
Oh
from.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah. And you cut and pasted.
Yeah. So I took that and I
Is that
made
illegal?
and I
Copyright?
made this.
Look at that.
So the power rankings for us, like, any normal organization would like have, this is how they come out every week and this is what we do. Like week 1, they were just on paper and it was just a list of them. Week 2, there was a write-up that was involved. Week
Yeah.
3, we dropped the bottom 2 guys out. They don't even get mentioned anymore. It's Kevin and Dave's Power 10. And I stole ESPN's graphic for their basketball rankings to make it happen. And I put a picture of Junior on there because he's the number 1 ranked team.
He is.
So I think that like the evolution of this is amazing. And who knows, by the end of the season, who knows where it's going to be. It'll probably, like, here, I was thinking about this the other day because Rennie said something about it, about the reveal and stuff of like the power rankings of his favorite day of the week now, Tuesday.
I mean,
and I said, so here by the end of the season, no more written write-ups. I'm just going to go live and give I'll be going live recording.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if by week 15, 16 or something, it becomes a billboard heading into Ohio from St. Leon on 74.
Rennie's gonna pass it on its way into the tanning bed.
It'd be a giant billboard that gets updated every. Here it is. Look at that.
All right, so let's run through these real quick. Junior off all weekend, unanimous. Like we just talked about it. Like he's got a chance to win the league. He's got the most points, the most wins, undisputed. He's the number 1 in the power rankings. Like I don't know if you understand how power rankings work. So just real quick, okay, Dave?
Okay. Dummy speech here.
These are not based solely on your record.
No.
They're not based solely on points scored. They're a look at, how dangerous a team. Would you want to play that team? Is this the best team right now? If you won or lost, plays a part in that. How much did you win by? Who'd you play? Did you score over 100 and they scored? So all those things factor in, right? And you and I
schedule, injuries, all that,
right? So you and I, we create our own private lists.
Yeah.
I have mine ahead of time. I say, okay, I'm ready. You send me yours, and so I combine those two. And I give everybody a numerical ranking based on where they put in. I take a sum of that. So Junior was 1 on your list and 1 on my list. He gets a 2. That's the lowest score possible. And so he's automatically number 1. Okay. And then, so if there is a tie, like if 2 teams have a score of 5 between you, so I rank somebody 3rd, you ranked them 2nd.
Yeah.
If that happens, the tiebreaker is total points scored.
Okay. Not record, points.
Not record, total points, because that's a better show of power, I feel like.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's what you can control or sort of control.
Your team. Yeah. Yeah. You can't control who you played or how many points they scored or anything like that. But like come the end of the season, wins are going to matter. Okay. So if Adam rattles off 12 wins, all scoring 80 points, it won't matter. He will have those wins and nobody can take them away from him.
Yeah.
If he ends up with 7 wins and he's got that few points, it's going to affect him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how the power rankings are ranked. So so second is you. All right. Rat Trappers is second. I voted you second. You voted yourself third. But you have more total points than Adam. So that's how you ended up at the 2 spot. You're probably viewed as, you really shot up, right? The last 2 weeks. You started out bad. You win back-to-back high points. I think that's take you out of it. If it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Anybody that's going to skyrocket somebody in the power rankings. Okay. Adam is 3-0 and he drops down, or, he's at third. And I can understand, if I'm Adam, why you'd be frustrated with that. But if we take an honest assessment at Adam's last 2 wins, they have not. I mean, I think everybody would look around and be like, oh, there's some blood in the water with Adam. Now, if he keeps winning, it's not going to matter. Like I said, okay, you keep scoring 80 and you keep winning, doesn't matter.
So when I sent you my list, I put a word or a phrase with every single, all 12 of mine.
Yeah.
And for Adam's, I put track record, and we've talked about that with Adam. You've talked about it with, track record. But I was more thinking, all right, he eked out a couple wins with low scores. I pretty much shot my wad to get these last 2 wins. So if there's going to be a correction,
you think Adam's going to jump back up?
Well, I mean, I think there's as good a chance as any that he has a high score here at some point here soon. Right. And when he does, he'll probably get another win. Whereas I haven't proven yet that I can win with a low score. I got a low score and I lost. I've gotten 2 high scores and I've won. I haven't proven. He's proven somehow he pulled. So if he can keep, he's gotten these 2 wins. Yeah. Very good chance he gets a high score. And so until, like I said, I was I said last week, until he loses, it's going to be hard for me to knock him down.
And here it is. These are just fun. They're the power rankings. Adam, you're still second in the standings. Okay. We can't take that away from you. That's all based on your wins and losses. But just like that, for fun, Brian Heimtime ends up at power ranking of 4, and his record is what, Dave? 1-2.
Yeah, tough 1-2.
But does anybody want to play Brian any given week?
Yeah, I mean, he's top. Well, I can't top 4, at least top 4 of.
He's one of 4 teams that have 300 total points.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So he's doing great. But he's had a couple bad beats. He did not score quite as well this week as he had the first 2 weeks, but he still would have beat half the teams he played.
Yeah, still good enough to beat a lot of people. My phrase for him was records are misleading.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we got Rennie, who really skyrocketed up the rankings. He's up 5. He went up 3 spots, and Aaron Rodgers seems to be getting things back on track, and as Aaron goes, so goes Rennie, and so
I had him at 4.
Yeah,
and I
above
put the word momentum down because
But Brian has more.
Yeah.
So the tiebreaker. So you and I had those different, and I think for Brian, like, my big thing is just like, man, if he plays, Adam 3 weeks in a row, he's got 3 wins. So. Yeah. No, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh, sorry. After that, we've got Ed, the Lumberjacks, number 6. Now, the funny thing about Ed is that while we've got him there 6th in the standings, Ed is tied for 2nd. He's in 4th place. He's tied with you.
Yeah.
He has not much less. He's one of 4 teams that has 300 score points too. And so I asked the question, did we do Ed a disservice having him power ranked at 6? And I don't
think so, because I used the word I had for him was precarious.
Yeah.
And I just think he's, and he's not the only one in this situation, but when you got a couple running, when you're running backs, you have trouble getting points out of them. He's relied a lot on defense, and that puts you in a little loosey-goosey situation there. I was thinking there was some injury stuff with him too, but maybe not. Maybe I was just thinking mainly the running back, and he tends to stick with people, for a while that haven't, maybe when they don't perform and for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with Ed, and part of it is like you try not to look too far ahead, but we just wonder will there be a day here in the future where he just doesn't pay attention to his lineup?
Yeah.
So,
and he's had, the Bills are pretty high ranked defense because they had a couple, good weeks, but now they play Baltimore, and he might stick with them. I mean, you never know. I mean, if he does, then he does. If he doesn't, but it's not the greatest matchup this week. And so, which, if he gets another loss, he's 2-2 and on his way down. So yeah, I think 6 is fair for him, even though he's 2-1.
So then you got myself, the Smithereens at 7, and I am trending downward, even though I feel pretty good about my team, and my points scored is obviously not the worst. It's not the best.
No.
It's 80 this past week. Things kind of they got better. They were looking really bleak, and then they kind of bounced back a little bit. Not enough to challenge Lee, but 2 weeks of scoring 100 and then scoring 80, but I got to get wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
1 and 2, and so gotta try to right the ship this week. But I've faced Brian, and so like that's gonna be a tough matchup. But
I actually
I'm turning in the wrong direction.
I actually had Travis at number 7.
Yes.
But my phrase was smoke and mirrors because he's not scoring, but he gets a matchup with Danny this week, which could give him he could end up 3-1. He could score 50 points this week and maybe still win.
Right.
And those wins, out of the first 4 games, if he starts 3-1, then you're in a pretty good spot, even if
right. Even if it is smoke and mirrors.
Even if he goes and, if he finds somebody off the free agency, or if he, somehow somebody starts playing good, then he's right back into things.
Yeah.
But right now his team's looking,
Adam and Travis have been spending a lot of time at Mass, doing a lot of. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got Joe Burr at coming in at number 8. And man, Josh's record is 1 and 2, and he had a bad beat this past week. And from here on down, everybody's got to turn their season around real quick.
Yeah,
because we're right on that cusp of I'm 9th in the standings, and Josh is right behind me. Brian's right above me, so we still have that perfect bell curve in our standings. 2 teams at 3-0, 2 teams at 0-3, and then 5 teams at 2. Is that right? 5 teams at 2-1, and then, well, not quite 4, and then 4 teams at 1 and 2, but pretty close. But Brian, me, Josh, all at 1 and Lee all at 1 and 2, and got to get back to 500. So it's going to be tough.
So on Josh, I put course correction because I feel like he's, this week he's got good matchups. He's got, healthy, some guys back. Looks like he found a second running back that might be primed to do good. The Chargers defense play Houston. He's just some things going for him this week that I think gets him a win and gets him right back going forward again.
Yeah.
So, whereas on my word was teetering.
Yeah, it could go either way. We'll see. I got a lot of Q's next to the names of my players, so we'll see what happens there. And then again, because of point total, Lee gets the 10 spot over Brennan. We had differing opinions on that.
I had him at 10.
Yeah, Lee scored 100, gets the win, gets his first W. Your word for Lee was do it again.
Do it again. Yeah, as soon as he wins again, then we'll talk.
Yeah. But then we've got 2 teams at 0-3 behind him, and I just don't know how you give any love to either one of those teams. And we got Danny and Brennan, and they're both dumpster fires. And
no, I see. I differ on Brennan. I think he's got, I think 0-3 is the anomaly.
No, let me, as someone who started 0-3 once, let me tell you, there's no coming back from it.
Now, your 0-3 last year was very different than his 0-3. You didn't have the number 1 pick that was still healthy, ready to start playing well.
No, I had the number 3 pick.
Yeah, he never did play well, did he?
Yeah.
And then in my rankings, I actually jumped from 11 to 25. Even though we only have 12 teams, I put Danny at 25 and put God awful.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry, Danny, but truth.
Well, and they don't even. I don't know if they watch this or not, but I don't know if it's insulting to them that they don't even make the graphic, the Power 10 graphic, or that they didn't make the write up this week. That they don't even get mentioned in the power rankings.
Yeah.
But
they got mentioned that they didn't make it.
get into the top 10.
Yeah. then we'll talk.
and then we'll talk. So, all right, I'm going to turn it over to you, Dave. You've got a segment that you want to introduce, and so you asked me to make a graphic for it. I haven't done that yet, but I'll put it right here, and
Okay.
and then you can away you go.
All right. It's fantasy football philosophy with Miller. So today I want to talk about making your team better once the season starts. So I got a couple scenarios. So here's scenario one. Season starts, week 1, you look at your team, you get on, you pick your best guys, you start them, you see what happens. Week 2, same thing. Look up and down the lineup. Week 3 comes, you see somebody on your bench, maybe they're hurt, maybe they just haven't performed, and you're like, let's check out the waiver pool, the free agencies, and get on there. You look at the ESPN rankings, whoever's projected highest for that position, and you pick them. And you move on and see what happens week 4. Maybe you start them, maybe you don't, maybe you just have them on your bench. So that's one way to go about it. Here's another way. So there's another scenario where, say, week 1, you look at the draft happens, then you get on the free agency pool, you look at the list, pick out 2 or 3 guys that you would potentially make a waiver claim for. You think they're good guys, you're going to keep your eye on them. And then you pick out 2 or 3 guys that you would wait until waivers clear and consider picking them up. Whether you do it or not is irrelevant. So that's, looking at the waiver pool, you got, 2 or 3 that you like, man, I might use a waiver pick for them. I'm going to keep an eye on them. And then you look around the lineups of everybody else's, team, you pick out 2 or 3 guys and start just thinking, okay, what kind of trade package would I have to put together to get this guy? And then you look around, teams, and you pick around 2 or 3 guys that you're kind of watching to see if they get dropped, especially when bye weeks come. And if they get dropped, then you're back to, is it somebody I'd put a waiver, request for, or is it somebody I'd wait and see if they clear and maybe pick them up? So all in all, got like a dozen or so guys that you're kind of keeping track of. Now the names might change week to week, but you got a dozen or so guys that you're kind of keeping track of, and there's a legitimate path to them becoming part of your team. Not some fantasy land where I'm going to trade you some schlub for Justin Jefferson. And so with those 2 differing kind of philosophies, ways of going about it, where would you say most of the time you kind of find yourself?
Option A.
Okay. Okay. So, and again, you can win a league doing that. I mean, I'm sure it's happening. And it's not really an all or nothing kind of thing. I think there's a spectrum,
Yeah. Well, so I had the number 3 waiver spot because I picked low, and then I didn't use it the first 2 weeks. And so going into week 3, I had the waiver spot. And I found myself in a predicament that Herbert may not play.
Yeah.
Didn't know. Okay. Good chance he would have played, but he was hurt and didn't know about it. Tua was coming off of a big game. My backup quarterback, Lance, was placed on IR during week 2, so I needed a quarterback. Now, I could have picked up whoever made it clear of the waivers, or I could use my waiver spot. I looked at the 2 spots above me and saw that neither one of those teams needed a quarterback, and I figured if I put in for Tua, I'll probably get him. And I thought, I'm not smart enough or diligent enough to use this waiver spot on a place that it's going to really matter. And I figure, I mean, if you pick somebody up and you insert them into their lineup expecting to play them, that's as good a reason as any to use your waiver spot. So
yeah, exactly.
I used it.
But I feel like the 2, I laid out those 2 kind of extreme scenarios, but I think probably there's a spectrum, of how much you are reactive, or whether you're proactive kind of thing. And so we've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of seasons that have gone by, and I can't say that there hasn't been some seasons or, maybe a string of 4 weeks that I've been reactive. Like I really hadn't been, it's like I haven't been paying attention. I need a player. I'll go look and see who's available. But then there's times when there's not necessarily this current season, because I've had whatever different stuff going on. But there's been times when I've probably knew everybody's lineup. I knew everybody's roster. And I knew the top 5 at every position on the waiver wire at any given time. If you asked me, hey, who would you say the top 5 wide receivers are that might be available, and I could rattle them off. Now, right now, the second I can't, but there's been seasons where I've been proactive enough to where like I had got, I'm like thinking way ahead, like, all right, if this guy gets hurt, I might go after this guy, that kind of stuff. So
don't you think that Adam lives his life that way?
He might. So I've had times like that, but I think I've definitely had times where I'm like, I really haven't been paying attention. I don't know who's good. So I believe ESPN, whatever number they put, that's what I'm going to go with. But most of the time, most seasons, I'm probably maybe not full scale option B, all the time, but I probably lean more towards that than I do option A. So along these lines, I got a game for you.
Okay.
Just to see, you just admitted that you're probably more, reactive than proactive, but, which means you probably don't have 2 or 3 guys that you've already picked out that you might, think about trading for on somebody else's team. So I'm going to see if how well other people's teams. I mean, you're a podcast leader here. We're both maybe you've paid attention a little bit. So I'm going to give you a name of a player, and you're going to tell me which of our rosters that they're on. All right.
Yep.
First guy, Garrett Wilson.
Wilson.
Wide receiver for the Jets.
Okay. I've never heard of Garrett Wilson, so I cannot tell you whose team he's on, but I'm going to guess that he's on Danny's.
He is not on Danny's.
Okay. So
he's on Brennan's team.
He's
on Brennan's team. He's actually kind of an up and coming.
He must really suck then.
No, he's good.
I mean, that's probably why I've never heard of him. There's probably 15 players on Brennan's team that I've never heard of because they suck that bad.
All right, number 2, Devontae Parker, wide receiver for the Patriots.
Devontae Parker, wide receiver for the Patriots. Ed.
Yes. Oh, the Patriots gave it away, didn't they?
All right. I took a stab in the dark.
So we'll see about this one. Number 3 is somebody that you kind of have a vested interest in this year. His name's Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. That's Travis's quarterback.
No.
No? He's not?
He's on Brian's bench.
Oh, he's on Brian's bench?
Yep.
Oh,
I'm almost positive.
Oh, you know what? No, you're probably right.
Yeah, he's on
Travis had him last year. I
Okay.
dropped him, and Travis picked him up, and he used him.
Yeah, he's on Brian's bench.
Nobody's using Kirk Cousins this year. You want to know why?
Why?
Because just like Brennan's entire team, Kirk Cousins sucks.
Okay, well that explains it.
Yeah. So,
all right, number 4.
But I could tell you that he was on Travis' team last year because Travis used him to beat me after I dropped him, and so there you go.
Yeah, I think so. Brian's he has Kyler Murray, but he's got Kirk Cousins on his bench, just waiting in the wings, just because he's
cares really good. About him? He sucks.
Number 4, we got Romeo Doubs. He's a wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers.
Romeo Doubs, wide receiver, Green Bay Packers. Feel like I saw him. He caught his first touchdown pass on Sunday. And let's see, is he on Rennie's team?
He's not on Rennie's team.
Nah, don't know then.
He's
you know what? Oh, your team. Hey,
I haven't started him yet.
Oh, you know what? I knew because I said that I had Christian something or another.
So that was my number 5, Christian Watson. What team's he on?
He's on my team.
I was just testing you.
See
if you knew your own team.
And would you have gotten that one right? I said that I had that loser on my team that dropped a touchdown pass a couple weeks ago, and you said, yeah, I have the other rookie on my team. So
yeah,
that's my bad. I should have put that together. Right.
All right, 3 more.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 6, Cam Akers.
Cam Akers. Is that a kicker?
Running back for the Rams.
Running back for the Rams. Cam Akers. Rams running back, Adam.
Junior.
Junior's
got him. He hasn't needed him because he's got good running backs. But
I would just say, as you're playing this game, Adam is cussing.
Because he knows all. So yeah, you feel free to play at home. I should have said that at the beginning.
Yes. Adam is playing along.
Anybody knew all these answers.
And he is cursing me out right now.
2 of them, 2 more. Dalton Schultz. He's a tight end for Dallas.
Dalton Schultz, tight end for Dallas. And I'd say that that's Lee.
Who were you just talking about? Adam.
Because Adam.
He's currently benched because Adam doesn't have a tight end listed right now.
All right.
Because
Let me just tell you this. you're asking every person that you're asking me about is on somebody's bench. We're 3 weeks in. I could give a flying who's on people's benches.
Well, I thought it'd be too easy if it was starters, All right, last
no,
one.
I would have gotten
Melvin Gordon, running back for Denver.
Melvin Gordon. Whoever's got him should be starting him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe they'd score more points if they did.
Are they on Rennie's team?
Who's pretty low on points right now? Not the lowest.
Not the lowest.
Who's
Travis?
second lowest? Travis. There you go. There you go. So you got one. No, you got two. You got two. You got your own.
Yeah.
And you got the Patriots wide receivers. That's pretty good, out of 10 or out of 8.
You asked me 8. If you would have asked me 8 starters, I would have only gotten 4 right. So you would have had fun with that.
I don't know if that's true. Let me just pick a team at random. I'll say right here. I'll pick a team at random. I'll give you a starter, and we'll go with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's a starter in somebody's lineup right this second.
Is that on Rennie's team?
He is on Rennie's team.
There
Look at you. Look at you. See,
Okay.
maybe you would have been better at this. I don't know.
Let's not do that again, okay? Because I got scared. I couldn't even tell you.
Tyler McLaren.
Don't even know who that is.
Adam is fuming right now.
Yes.
All right, so that was just a little game, just to kind of, whatever side of the fence you're on, and how you want to build your team, you can do it, one way. You can just kind of wait till you need somebody, look and see what's out there, and not know anything, and then, or you can be proactive. You can do some research ahead of time, and have like a dozen guys that you're like thinking about.
I'm trying to control my language here, but I just wanted to let you know how upsetting this is for me, because you're really pulling the curtain back on the fact that I don't know crap about this. I'm not going to be allowed to do this podcast anymore. They're going to take away my privileges of.
So is this going to be the first and last time that this segment gets done where I bring up philosophies of fantasy football?
No,
because I got a bunch of them.
This entire show is way more fun when I ask you questions. Okay, I'm the host, not true.
There you go.
I'm not like they're gonna say, Kevin, you can't vote anymore on the power rankings. That's gonna get revoked. They're gonna be like, Kevin, your writing privileges have now been revoked. They're gonna take away my meme rights. I can't create memes anymore and put those out there. Like everything's gonna be taken away from me because they're gonna be like, you don't know anything about fantasy football.
Yeah, basically admitted.
But then I was just thinking to myself, you know what, Dave? They've already known all that from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, I think we figured it out last year.
Yes. Yeah. So.
All right. So we got some good matchups this week, right?
Yeah. Let's get into the matchups, and if not, then this episode's going to be 2 hours long, and then they complain when it's too long. So Junior has to listen to it on the way to work and on the way from work. So
let's see what we got going on for this week before we wrap this up.
Yeah. So we'll start down here at the bottom. We've got Welcome to the Red Kingdom, who is 3-0, versus the Sundance Kid, who is 0-3. I don't know if you. Well, hold on. Let's back up just a second, Dave, because this is one. I threw something out on the podcast. Hold on. Brian's got a little thing he sent here. There's nothing like losing in fantasy football and setting your lineup for the next week immediately sets a tone and sends a message to the squad that we're on to the next week. So Brian is moving forward.
Okay.
Brian's moving forward. But did you see that I tried to get some traction on a new little segment, but it didn't work out real well. I said Smitty's matchups of the week.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So the number one. So we'll start with those 4, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yes.
So the number one, and I just mentioned it. Okay. So the number one, Red Kingdom versus Sundance Kid, 3-0 versus 0-3. I mean, that's one of the most intriguing matchups, because if Brennan goes 0-4, season's over.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. Okay.
So
the path to making the playoffs.
Adam forces you to actually click on it, because if you just look at the projections right now, he's only got 7 guys in his starting lineup. So this 105 to 81 is very misleading.
Yeah. But I mean, we got a 3-0 team, the weakest of the 2 3-0 teams.
Yeah.
And a team that, we believe probably should be 0-3. I mean, one and two maybe at the best. But anyway, versus Brennan, who you still are voting for.
I still think.
Do you believe that this is the week that Red Kingdom gets his first loss and Brennan gets his first win? Is this the week?
Well, I can't say I'm thrilled with the matchup because of all people, Adam finds ways to win, but I feel like Brennan's going to put himself, he's going to score over 100 and give himself a chance to win this week. And if Adam sticks to his routine the last two and doesn't score 100, then this is the week, Brennan gets his victory.
No, I think that Adam comes out and destroys him. I think it's going to be a revenge tour for Adam, and I think that Brennan goes 0-4 and finds himself in the don't check my lineup on a weekly basis category.
So the best way to score 120 to 140 is have your quarterback get 40 points or more.
Yes.
Mahomes is going against Tampa. What do you think of that?
I think
is that a recipe for 40?
I think that Mahomes has a bounce back week. I think that he was stifled last week, and I think that this week he's going to.
Tampa is going to slow the game down.
Yeah, but then
Brady doesn't. He's too old to be in a shootout.
Wouldn't you have said that about Miami versus Buffalo?
I would have. See, I feel like Buffalo just keeps scoring, and I didn't know Miami was going to keep up with them, but I don't trust Miami's defense as much as Tampa.
No, Buffalo's defense.
Yeah. You didn't think Miami would do that against them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most people would have been like, oh, Tua's not going to score that kind of points against Buffalo's defense.
Yeah.
I just think that we differ. I think that Brennan goes 0-4. I think that Adam finds a way to win. I'm not even looking at the matchups. I just trust the players. I trust Adam more than I do Brennan.
Okay. No.
All right. So the number 2 matchup to watch in Smitty's 4 matchups to watch is you, Rat Trappers, versus Double Check.
Man, both of us have won 2 in a row.
Yep. Both on the rise.
I just keep facing these people that are hot.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
So you going for the trifecta? Are you going for the hat trick?
I think,
are you going to go high points 3 weeks in a row?
I do like the matchup of Josh Allen versus Lamar. I think they're going to both have to, I think as far as my quarterback's going against somebody that can score a lot.
Probably give you confidence to know that somebody can put up that many points against Buffalo's defense.
Because the fear is that your quarterback has 3 good quarters, and then he has to sit because they're winning by 50 points.
That's not going to happen in this game.
I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm thinking, I got as good a shot as any. I didn't think I'd get 48 points out of him last week, but
can you go back?
I'll take 30. 30 is. I'll be happy.
Hit pause right now, Adam. Go back in the archives. Let us know in group chat. Has any team ever gone 3 weeks in a row winning high points? We want to know.
That's a good question.
We want to know.
Yeah, I think the odds are stacked against me on that. But I could do 115 and have Rennie end up at 108. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I think that that's going to be a close win, and if I had to guess, I would say that that both teams score just at or below 100. I do not think this is going to be a high points coming from this matchup, but I could be wrong. All right. Okay. So the next number 3, I got show me your TDs versus Joe Burr, right? If Lee wants to make something out of his season, he's got to keep winning, and Josh does not want to find himself at 1-3.
Yeah.
So this is a tight battle right here.
Yeah, they're both outside looking in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
want to get to that number. You
want that 8 spot. And you don't get it by losing and going 1-3.
No.
Yeah, I like Burrow, but I've liked Carr. I think Carr, and although Denver just only gave up 10 points last week, so.
Do you feel like yes, we've had some explosions in some games, but man, it feels like there's been a lot of 10 or 15 point low scoring football games.
If you are Pat McAfee and you love punts and field goals.
Yeah.
Then the Sunday night game and the Monday game were all for you.
Yes.
Punts and field goals. And there's been a lot of that going around.
So the last one we've got on the top 4 to watch, kind of like just looking at the top 4 matchups that we have, is me versus Brian, Smithereens versus Heim Time. And so, for both of us, it's got to feel like must win. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to continue to put yourself in that position where you're 1-4.
Yeah, Brian got a wasted 120 effort week 2, and he could use that, that score again to help him get back on the winning track. I feel like I think I put in my write-up that he's been averaging 15 more points than you all 3 weeks. So if
I haven't read it yet, but thanks for that.
Yeah,
spoiler
if he
alert.
stays
All
true
you gotta say is spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Hey, if you haven't read, just tell me.
If he stays true to form, then you have to somehow find 15 points that that you haven't been getting. And let's look at your lineup here. Who's it going to come from? Oh, question mark. Yeah,
it's real funny.
Yeah, it is real funny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, they'll all be healthy by Sunday.
Yeah. Well,
or
let's see.
And this is a true test, I think, because you got to find out whether, week 1 you were riding high with Jefferson. If he goes 3 weeks in a row laying an egg, a first round egg, which is anything below, 8 points probably, then you got to be wondering what's going to happen with him,
Well, like I'm just curious if it's too soon to trade Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings.
Oh, that would change everything, wouldn't it?
Yes. Or any other top 10 quarterback. If we could trade them to the Vikings, it would be amazing. Or if we
Cousins' catchphrase?
Mediocre?
Whatever it was, it's been a long time since he said it.
Or are you thinking, hey, let me ask you this. So I should have put it in there. Is Joe Flacco elite?
Oh,
no. He's top 5 in passing yards right now.
Yeah, no.
Gosh.
You know why? Garrett Wilson.
He just freaking
guy you didn't know who it was.
Just throws a football. So okay, so we got a couple other matchups. Junior going to destroy Ed this week. That's a given, right? I mean, do we have any question about that? Ed's days of pretending like he's a contender are about to be over.
Yeah, what's tough for Ed is for about 8 other teams, he has the advantage at quarterback. Anybody that's not Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar, but he's going against Allen. The other people, the other 8 teams that don't have those 4 guys that might not put up, that haven't been putting up 30, 40 spots. So if that's a wash at quarterback, then he's really hurting because his running backs, I mean, Cooper Kupp can at any moment, but he hasn't, I don't know where he gets enough points to beat Junior.
Yeah. And then the other matchup you already alluded to earlier in the podcast, Travis goes up against Danny, Flex versus Polk High School. And man, if Danny finds himself, did you say earlier? I just want to repeat this because I don't think that everybody heard it. You said that Travis could score 54 points and still walk away with a win. Is that?
Yeah.
Did I hear you?
I think correctly? I did say we have to go back and listen to that, but I might have said that.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I just don't, because he does things like, he already has, we're only 3 weeks in and he's already had a week where everybody in the world knew Julio Jones wasn't going to play, and then he didn't play and he wouldn't have won with Tyler Boyd, but he would have got more points with Tyler Boyd. Like,
let me ask you this, Dave.
And he's still in the lineup. Julio is and he's probably not going to play. He's still questionable.
Dave, are you single?
No.
Are you living your best life right now?
I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, Danny's got more important things to be worried about.
Yeah, I guess he does.
But it was worth $60 to him to show up to the tavern, to hang out with us, to eat chicken.
Does he know what this word questionable means? And when he hasn't played for 3 weeks, questionable. There's different degrees of questionable. There's There's, you're never going to play questionable, and you're probably going to play questionable. And, some people actually go and they find that out ahead of time of what might happen.
All right. Hey, Danny, I'll tell you what. When does Julio play? Sunday?
He's not going to play.
No, when is Julio?
His team plays Sunday at 8:20.
All right. Danny,
At
Sunday
night.
morning at 11, after I get down off the stage from preaching, I'm going to send you a text that says check your lineup, okay? It's coming.
The problem is, if he waits till then, Tyler Boyd's already played because he'll have played on Thursday. And his other running or wide receiver is Hunter Renfrow, who may not play either. So,
all right. So, Danny,
you're relying on Danny to actually pick up somebody.
It's coming right now. Danny Poundstone, put in.
Somebody's going to say this is collusion.
Put in Boyd. All right. Adam, suck it.
I mean, I don't even know if Boyd's the best play. I mean, he looked good last week, but he's better than somebody that's not going to play, which I guess I really haven't even looked to see if he's going to play, but I really don't think he's going to.
Well, I just saved Danny's season. I just want you to know.
Although, if he does play and Godwin and Evans don't, then maybe he gets 1 billion points.
Why would Adam care? I just helped Danny over Travis.
Okay, maybe I was wrong. The last sentence, he's a good bet to return Sunday night against the Chiefs. So forget I said all that. But last week, we knew he wasn't going to play. Check your lineups. Come on.
Check your lineups. All right, that's our matchups. We have so much content that we can't even keep up with all this stuff. I feel like that this was a bounce back week for us. We kind of started slow out the gate with the podcast. We had two segments that we did today. We did the power rankings. It's like, man, for their subscription fee of $19.99 a month, I feel like they're getting every penny's worth. If this was like the 80s or something, this would be on like that. What's the public broadcast television? We would be broadcasting this out.
If it was the 80s, I'd be wearing a sweater with a sweater tied over that sweater.
Oh, really? Oh, all right. Well, Dave, that Harrison Green is disgusting, and it reminds me of Junior. So that's it's not a good look on you.
Representing.
I drove out to no, I didn't. I went to Rushville. I was going to go out to Connorsville because my son was playing tennis out there, and I didn't make it. So, but I did go to Rushville. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was thinking about you when I was supposed to go out there.
That's nice of you.
Yeah. But my son went out there.
Well, good for him.
He's done it.
Good luck, everybody, except for whoever's playing me and you. Good luck, everybody else.
And, Brian, I love you, brother. We're friends, but
you need this win. See, he's got a lot of points. He can.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
He can go 1-3 and come back because one more win and he's right back up against. But you,
I cannot. No, I have to do. Just for everybody watching, if this goes south and come next Wednesday night, I'm what would it be? 1-3. Yeah, trash bags coming out. Grocery bag. White Castle's grocery bags, and I'm going to replace the beer with probably just like a fifth of vodka or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. All right, everybody, have a great week. We will see you later. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below, and we will see you next week. Power rankings come out on Tuesdays, and go Bengals. Hoo day.
All righty. See y'all.